My father always said wild boars don't wander aimlessly. They follow familiar routes, yet still adjust with the weather, food sources, and their sense of safety. When their numbers grow, the damage they cause affects not only the harvest, but the lives of people in the surrounding area. Perhaps that's why controlling them is sometimes necessary. I never liked my father's work. To me, it always seemed exhausting and hard to understand. But it was curiosity that led me to join him on this trip, to see with my own eyes what he had been doing all these years. The morning began with a thick layer of fog covering the hillside. Limited visibility made observation more difficult. In these conditions, wild boars tend to expand their range, feeling less disturbed by outside factors. We focused on reading the environment. Fresh tracks on wet grass, shifts in wind direction, the slightest movements along the forest edge. When the target emerged through the mist, it didn't hinder my father from carrying out a precise control action. Phew, he had just prevented potential damage to the villagers' crops. As the fog slowly lifted, the boars entered their most active feeding period. Small groups left their shelters, moving along familiar trails. If these groups merged, the pressure on the surrounding environment would quickly increase. Instead of direct intervention, the control team focused on maintaining the natural separation between groups. This approach helps stabilize their behavior, limiting sudden changes that could lead to more serious conflict. In wildlife management, maintaining behavioral stability is often more important than aggressively reducing numbers. As sunlight became clearer, the terrain was easier to observe. Some individuals moving close to cultivated areas were identified. Intervention at this stage was carried out selectively, with the goal of reducing the risk of contact between wild boars and residential zones. When risk factors are adjusted in time, the herd tends to shift direction and avoid sensitive areas for the rest of the day. For now, peace has been preserved on this land. As the sun climbed higher, rising temperatures pushed the boars toward cooler, less exposed areas. They began moving in larger groups. The growing number of animals forced us to quickly reassess the situation and act in time, because if the herd broke through downhill, the harvest would be completely lost. On another hillside, my father's teammate reported over the radio that an adult boar had been spotted resting in an open area. This individual had the greatest influence on the herd's behavior, and the most significant impact on the surrounding environment. Managing this case required careful, location-specific assessment. We moved quickly before it could sense any danger. The goal was not to expand intervention, but to reduce long-term pressure on both the ecosystem and the community. Every decision was made with care, avoiding unnecessary disturbance to other species. In the end, the area returned to a temporary state of calm. Our journey began to draw to a close as the sunset quietly faded behind the tree line. Through a spotting scope, we detected a lone individual making its way back toward the herd. Without hesitation, my father took position and handled the situation decisively. It was a large boar, solid, powerful, but in that moment, it became the final target of the day. In those final moments, I found myself reflecting on who I am now, and I began to understand more clearly the work my father has quietly devoted himself to all these years. This is not simply a hunt. It is a necessary task that helps protect local farmers from crop loss, reduces economic damage, and preserves the balance of the ecosystem. Because if wild boar populations grow too quickly, they will continue to destroy crops, land, and the peaceful lives of those who depend on it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to continue this journey of protecting the harvest.
The first rays of sunlight slowly spread over the fields at the foot of the hills, where the tracks of wild boars are etched deep and clear. Whether by night or day, these creatures don't just ravage the crops they've grown boldly, frequently venturing close to residential areas, stirring anxiety among the locals and their livestock. Seeing the situation worsen, Daniel's team has set out with modern weaponry and unwavering resolve to restore peace to this land. But will these shadows of the wilderness be easy to tame? Join us on this relentless hunt and find out. The team moved silently along the rugged trail, steadily climbing toward the hillside known to be a stronghold for fierce wild boar packs. Just as they reached the high ground, a sudden noise shattered the silence. A beast thundered down the slope at terrifying speed, as if the hunters had become the hunted. But Daniel stood firm. He raised his rifle, took careful aim, and bang! The shot echoed through the mountains. The beast lost its footing, tumbling down the hill before collapsing into the thick brush below. Seconds later, a sharp volley of gunfire cracked through the air. Behind Daniel, his teammate had spotted another target charging down from the northern slope. This one was crafty, weaving swiftly through the thick brush, desperate to escape. But how could it outrun the cold barrel of a seasoned hunter? When the final shot rang out, the massive boar collapsed, its last hope of escape shattered. Suddenly, the sharp barking of dogs erupted ahead, a clear warning that trouble was near. The whole team surged forward, the bushes shaking violently as if about to burst. Daniel swiftly raised his rifle, eyes locked onto the trembling canopy. In the blink of an eye, a dark shadow dashed out. Unfazed, as if this were old hat, Daniel calmly swung his gun and squeezed the trigger. Bang! The deadly bullet hit its mark, the beast skidding before finally collapsing. After clearing the hillside area, the team decided to press on, driving their vehicle toward the vast grassland ahead. Before long, a lone prey came into view. The team immediately accelerated, closing in fast. Daniel raised his rifle and took aim from a distance. Bang! The first shot hit its leg. Daniel's face hardened. Calmly, he raised his gun and fired the final shot. Bang! It was over. The team climbed down from the vehicle and moved deeper into the wilderness. Look, there! A massive beast suddenly came into clear view, right within shooting range. Bang! The bullet tore through the air, striking the prey's flank. And the outcome was inevitable. Nothing can escape the barrel of a rifle wielded by hunters forged through relentless training. As the sky faded into the last streaks of sunset, the team began packing up their gear to head back. The walk back to the vehicle seemed calm until a teammate suddenly signaled for silence. Everyone froze instantly. A prey appeared, its head raised high, alert and cautious. But that hesitation proved to be a fatal mistake. Bang! The shot rang out, hitting a vital spot. The beast let out a few desperate cries before collapsing, completely powerless. Fast, clean, precise. That's the hallmark of seasoned hunters and the perfect seal on a successful expedition. Today's hunt with Daniel's team came to a close with clear results. Every fierce prey was taken down one by one, restoring peace to this land. Each shot not only showcased skill, but also the seamless teamwork of seasoned hunters. Of course, everything was carried out fully in compliance with local laws. A heartfelt thank you goes to the local community and authorities for their enthusiastic support, which helped us complete this hunting mission successfully. In the stillness of the late night, the ring of the phone broke the silence. My grandmother's anxious voice came through. The wild boars are back, tearing up the crops and breaking the fences. Those words hit me like a jolt of electricity, and I knew I couldn't hesitate. I immediately called my team to prepare for the wild beasts that were causing havoc. This hunt wasn't just a battle against the boars, it was about protecting family and homeland. Join us now on this relentless mission. We gathered at the forest's edge.
Armed with specialized gear and modern technology, we entered the thick woods. The faint traces left by the boars guided us to our first target. When the moment was right, a sharp blast echoed through the air, breaking the stillness. Perfect. The beast had no way to escape. We pressed deeper, and more figures appeared. Another round of shots rang out, ending the chaos of the forest. Our opening move for the day was marked with precision. After the gunshots, the wild boars seemed to panic, scattering in every direction. Without hesitation, the team quickly divided into strategic positions and surrounded them. Each move, every decision, was executed with military precision, like a well-oiled machine. Before long, we had completely contained the wild beasts, halting their advance perfectly. As the sun rose, the conditions for the hunt improved dramatically. The morning fog lifted, and everything became clearer. 15 minutes passed in complete silence. Suddenly, a massive figure emerged within the scope. My finger tightened on the trigger, and the shot rang out. The silence shattered. Each step of the beast in its desperate flight was met with the relentless pursuit of my aim. Despite its attempts to flee, the beast couldn't escape the cold line of fire. It finally collapsed not far off. Mission accomplished. Thinking there might be more boars hiding deep in the forest, we decided to press on. The team spread out, quietly searching, each step calculated and deliberate. Then, suddenly, the target appeared right in the crosshairs. Without hesitation, I pulled the trigger. The shots hit their mark with surgical precision, each blast snuffing out the immediate threat. After our recent success, we didn't stop, but pushed forward. Carefully scanning the area, I recognized this spot as one likely to hold more boars. We took up a concealed position. Sure enough, the prey appeared. My hand tightened on the trigger, and the bullet flew. Cold, calculated, and accurate. Just when I thought the hunt was winding down, new targets emerged, testing both my patience and marksmanship. The shots rang out like a warning. Don't trespass in this domain. More figures flitted between the thick shadows of the trees. Not letting them slip away easily, I got into position, preparing for the next round of action. At that moment, everything seemed to narrow down to the sound of raw tension. After hours of intense effort, the spoils of the hunt exceeded expectations. The sweat, the unrelenting drive, everything had paid off. Did you know a full-grown wild boar can run faster than you and is 3 times stronger? Sounds unbelievable, but I've faced him more than once. Across the rolling green hills of Turkey, they charge like bullets, relentless, stubborn, fearless. Sometimes even your trigger finger can't keep up. Hunting wild boars isn't a game. It's a battle against one of the smartest, most aggressive, and deadliest beasts in the wilderness. Think it's easy? Walk with me. The hunt starts now. Knowing the boar's habits from the villagers, we left at dawn, heading west toward the hillside. After a careful terrain survey, John swiftly arranged the team, strategically placing shooters in open spots, determined to cut off any escape before the sun rises high. Minutes passed before shadows appeared. Bang! The gunfire shattered the silence. Nice! A victorious start for the team. But the hunting dogs quickly picked up the scent. My teammates and I shifted course and moved in just in time. More hidden figures were trapped and taken down cleanly and decisively. With the sunlight growing stronger, we climbed higher, eyes scanning every inch of the valley below. No creature could escape our sharp gaze. I took careful aim and squeezed the trigger. A precise shot felled the beast. Once again, the invasion of this fertile land was ended. The gunshot seemed to alarm the boars. They began retreating deeper into the forest. Down below, the pack of hunting dogs caught their scent. Thanks to their training and sharp instincts, each dog closed in on the prey, leaving no room for escape. This allowed me to move in faster. There it is! The rifle felt steady in my hands as I squeezed the trigger. The shot echoed, leaving only the giant form lying motionless amid the dogs. No time to rest. The tracker beeped on alert. Wild boars spotted nearby. We moved quickly, footsteps heavy but cautious. Strange sounds and familiar scents made me freeze instantly. Ready, weapon aimed. The golden moment struck. The bullet flew. The beast fell before it could break free. Our teammates secured the perimeter fast. No shadow slipped through the net. The advantage was ours, ensuring absolute safety for this land. We scoured the adjacent hillside with careful steps and keen eyes, missing no movement. The formation held steady, tight and effective. No matter how well the boars hid, escaping the well-planned trap was nearly impossible. This wasn't luck anymore, it was the cold precision of true hunters. As the late afternoon light faded, we regrouped at the rendezvous point. But fate wasn't done yet. The hunting dogs barked again, signaling that the last trail was still open. Without hesitation, the team turned back to finish the job. Moments later, the trophies were secured. The battle closed, neat, tense, and ruthless. Still think hunting wild boars is easy? Share your thoughts below.